him. Let me know down below what other brands you feel like would align well with his image and persona. And if you are someone that struggles with actually figuring out what brands or opportunities would work best with you, I do offer one-on-one coaching, so make sure you check out the links below. So now if we talk about present day evolution of Jim Ike, he still has that bad boy element in him. And that's why we love him, you know? Like I said, he is the rule breaker, the risk taker in and out of the movies. And so if we talk about branding in terms of continuing to build that world around him, I would love to see him in movies similar to like The Godfather. I don't know if there's like a Nigerian equivalent of The Godfather, but even if you just called it like the Nigerian Godfather, like just do a remake. Hollywood is full of remakes, okay? Most stories have been told before. Nothing is new under the sun, anyways. So yeah, I would just love to see him step into a role like this to further establish his dominance as Nigeria's top bad boy. And then if we also talk about how he has evolved now, with the books that he's released, with the interviews he's done, I would say, honestly, before doing my research, I actually kind of underestimated him a little bit. I just saw him for the persona, for the character. But when you actually delve into Jim Ike, you see the man and you realize how wise he is. And I say that with deep reverence because I feel like wisdom is rare. And so with his book series that he released, it was, I believe, 25 different volumes. Don't quote me on the number, but it was just a series of different life lessons. And honestly, I love that so much. So just delving from that ideology of being a deep thinker and wanting to share his wisdom, I feel like a potential brand or business venture that would work well for him would be the private gentlemen's club where men can actually discuss and exchange ideas, network, and become powerful together. Because he also directly accredits, his career success to some of the mentors and friends that he made along the way. So how great would that be to carry that forward onto the next generation? And maybe it could just be the next generation of actors, or I'm not sure, this idea isn't fully fledged, but some type of private members club would align really well with his new image. And as an older person, I think sometimes we neglect the gift of wisdom and we don't see it as something that has market value. But if you are watching and you don't feel like you have any skills or any talent apart from your wisdom, you can still make a brand out of that for yourself. The sky is the limit, and wisdom is one of the greatest things you can ever get. That's what the good book said, and I believe it. So yeah, there are so many ways to make wisdom a part of your brand. So if you're struggling, like I said, make sure you check out the links below and I will be more than happy to help you if I can. And so now if we bring it back to the other kind of movies he creates to also build a new world around him, because as much as we love the bad boy, we also want some depth and some variety. So here you'll see I do have obviously Bad Boys for Life. I would love to see him in a movie with the likes of Peter Ducci. They were two characters that often were put together movies. They had great movie chemistry. So again, like a Nigerian equivalent of Bad Boys for Life would just be awesome. And then I would also like to see him reprise the roles of more, I guess, fatherly figures. Well, for instance, like I said, The Godfather of One. Then we have My Wife and Kids, a running series with him in this kind of family dynamic and it's just humor would be absolutely hilarious. And I would just love to see that. And then we have the movie The Father. This is a more serious melodramatic movie. And I believe the synopsis is something along the lines of a father who loses dementia, wow. A father who loses his memory due to dementia, and I believe that's his child that's trying to help him out. So seeing him tackle on issues with mental health, especially how in society men are often plagued with poorer mental health and not enough support. So just touching on these deeper and profound topics would be amazing and continuing to add to that diversity to his body of work. And I believe he's doing that. I would just like to see more. So this is just a couple of ideas. So with this, how you can apply this to you is don't be scared to go outside of the box. Yes, you might have built up a legacy as someone who has a specific lane, but there's ways for that lane to evolve. As I've seen as I've said with him, he can go from being the bad boy to the ultimate pin lynch or the ultimate king, or you can go from being the bad boy to the loving father. I just think it's always good to expand your horizons. And if you're looking for a way to find a direction, or you don't know how to piece the different parts of yourself, like I've said, I have links down below if you need any branding consultancy. I offer 3-month packages just to start, so you can apply down below if you are interested.